A Christchurch mother charged with the death of her 11-year-old son. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, March the 15th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. The mother of the late Abijah Holder Phillips has been charged with causing his death by dangerous driving. 33-year-old Felicia Holder of Hope Fields Christchurch appeared before Oistins Magistrate Elwood Watts yesterday afternoon, but was not required to plead to the June 26, 2015 offense as it allegedly occurred in the District B jurisdiction. She was ordered to appear before that magistrate's court on March the 19th after she was granted $7,500 bail with one surety. 11-year-old Abijah was on his way home from his school graduation when he lost his life. His mother was at the wheels of the motor car in which he was traveling when it struck a signpost and ended up on its side along the Adams section of the ABC Highway at the entrance of the villages at Coverley. The Canadian government has hit back at Education Minister Ronald Jones after he accused its High Commissioner to Barbados, Maria Legault, of interfering in this country's election. But in a story published in the National Post, that's a Canadian online publication, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland made it clear that she was standing by Legault. Legault had raised the ire of Minister Jones, who said in fiery terms Tuesday she should be recalled to Canada for suggesting the country is ready for a female prime minister and, in his view, implying that citizens should vote for a change in government. But Adam Austin, a spokesman for Freeland, insisted that Legault was in no way endorsing any candidate in this country's upcoming elections, constitutionally due by June. The ailing Barbados economy is expected to benefit from more than $20 million in investment this summer. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Rudy Grant, told yesterday's quarterly meeting at Hilton Barbados Resort that several properties are preparing to pump the money into major refurbishments. However, Grant has pledged to intensify the Hotels Association lobbying efforts so members can receive their concessions in a more timely manner.
Of course, I think it reflects as well that the legislation that has been put in place, the Tourism Development Act, the Tourism Development Amendment Act, the Shipping Incentives Act, and all the other pieces of legislation that provide for the waiver of taxes and duties, that they are providing the incentive for our members to engage in refurbishment and to be able to upgrade the product offering. One of the things, though, that we do have to ensure is that these pieces of legislation are, the benefits are facilitated in a much more timely manner.
It's been suggested that Prime Minister Francis Stewart should not be paid for the next 90 days. That's the period within which he has to announce general elections. The call came yesterday from former chairman of the Barbados Broadcasting Authority and retired media boss Carl Moore in one of his regular concise letters to the editor in Barbados Today. Describing Prime Minister Stewart as a poor manager of time, Moore asked why he needed additional time, that's 3 months, having already used up his full 5 years in office. The veteran media practitioner, who was also a member of the CBC board, saw this as a strange way for Stewart to make history. He is therefore suggesting that the Prime Minister should do the people's business for the next 90 days without pay.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. 2 teenage girls are among 4 people killed in La Brea, Trinidad, in what villagers are describing as a bloody massacre. It is believed the assailants chopped a 35-year-old woman, her 16-year-old daughter, and the girl's 14-year-old friend to death at their apartment in a house. MP for La Brea, Nicole Oliveri, said it's time men are taught how to deal with rejection.
In recent times, most of the murders of women have been at the hands of, estranged lovers in failed relationships.
The MP told us she's particularly concerned about the 2 other children found in the house after the murder. She says they will be provided with counseling. Meanwhile, National Security Minister Edmund Dillon describes the murders as deeply troubling. He echoed sentiments shared by the MP and stressed that because of the spontaneous and emotional nature of domestic disputes, it has become difficult to prevent. He believes these issues need to be treated at the source.
And on the international scene, the U.S. has joined the UK in accusing Russia of an ex-spy's poisoning in London. More in this Euronews report.
The United States stands in absolute solidarity with Great Britain. The United States believes that Russia is responsible for the attack on 2 people in the United Kingdom using a military-grade nerve agent.
We have concluded that Mr. Skripal and his daughter were poisoned with a Novichok, a military-grade nerve agent of a type developed by Russia. It is not a weapon which can be manufactured by non-state actors. It is so dangerous that it requires the highest grade state laboratories and expertise. Based on the knowledge that Russia has previously produced this agent, and combined with Russia's record of conducting state-sponsored assassinations, including against former intelligence officers whom they regard as legitimate targets, the UK government concluded that it was highly likely that Russia was responsible for this reckless act.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.